3, 2, 1, go!
What's happening, everybody? That's right, Felons Ain't Failures Podcast. Once again, we are back in the building, and this your boy, Coach Chuck, your podcast pastor.
What's going on, everybody? It's your boy, Big Bro Los. Just want to say, appreciate y'all coming in. We're in the studio, about to drop another episode. We appreciate your support. Glad you're here, bro.
And we got a special guest. Last week, we had a guest in. He came in. He dropped something about alpha male, so we had to bring him back in. So come on, Daryl Smurf Jones, we got to bring you back. We got another co-host in there with us today. Y'all welcome him as he come.
Bro.
He took my hand clap for him.
Okay.
Definitely, man. We in the building. Hey, we want to bring Smurf back. Appreciate you for coming back, man.
Sir.
My bad. Love,
You know how we do
love
it. Ain't nothing changed.
Yes, sir. And real quick, before we get it going, bro, can I get you to switch with Smurf real quick?
Yeah.
Right now, we want to show you some of the new merch. As y'all can see, Smurf got it on. We ain't gonna do like no modeling thing or no home shopping network. But it's just some of the new merch that you can get from our website, FAFpodcast42.com. And we made this shirt. That's for people who look down on us fellas. But the shirt say, I got caught. The only difference between us, you did. So we need them snobby, look down on us people to understand. The only difference between us is that we got caught and you didn't. So that's some of the merch. We got about 4 more shirts out there. Go to the website. Lopez will drop it at the bottom, but it's FAFpodcast42.com. Support the podcast. Get you some merch, especially my fellas. You know, if you're a fella, man, you got to rep this podcast and you got to rep these T-shirts, man. We need y'all support, so we thank y'all. All right, y'all can switch. We finna get this thing going.
Yes, sir.
And, man, we had last week, if you watched the show, man, we had a dynamic show. We talked about self-sabotage. And then we talked about what it meant for each of us to renew our mind.
Personally.
Because overcoming self-sabotage from a thinking standpoint, meaning some things about your thinking had to change.
Right.
So we ended on a powerful note. We kind of cut it off so we could bring it back this week.
Yeah.
So this week, we want to talk about the alignment for the assignment. And I feel, personally, that this is very important because I know there are millions of people. And one of the questions a lot of people start to reach as they get older in life is, what am I here for?
Right.
Why did God create me? What purpose am I supposed to fulfill?
Right.
So I think this is very powerful to speak this time following self-sabotage, because once you start to renew your mind and you start to defeat that spirit of self-sabotage, I think you then put yourself in a position to be able to walk in your assignment.
Okay.
But in walking in your assignment, walking in your assignment or your purpose or your calling or whatever God created you to do,
Right.
it takes alignment. So I got you got a definition for?
I do not.
Okay, I got one. So a key definition for alignment is being in a proper state or position to make adjustments within your actions. Being in a proper state or position to make adjustments within your action. I think those are a couple key words. To be in a proper position, that could be mentally and that could be physically.
It could.
You know, your health can be a proper or improper position. How well you take care of yourself, how healthy you are, determines how far you can go with whatever it is you feel like God called you to do.
Right.
And then mentally, we talked about the self-sabotage, so you got to make sure you're not in your own way. But being able to make some adjustments about our paradigm or the way we see things.
Right.
That's important.
Absolutely.
So when you think about being in alignment, and now we finna start rolling through some stuff, to me, it's about mentally being in a great position to pursue and to conquer what I want to conquer and become what I want to become. And it's about being able to make adjustments along the way.
Okay.
Because sometimes, bro, and Smurf, we have it in our mind how we think it should look. And then we have a certain way we think it takes for us to get there.
Right.
And sometimes we become rigid because we be so focused and we're like, I got to do it this way. And we're not able to make adjustments. And I think when you have the inability to make adjustments, when your mind is stuck as this is how it is, this is how I'm going to do it, and let's go back to next week with those seeds that have been planted in your mind since you was a little boy.
Yeah.
When you feel like this is how it has to be done and you're not able to adjust, I think you jeopardize your you jeopardize your, help me out with a word, you jeopardize your ability
Okay.
to complete, conquer, and accomplish whatever it is you feel like you were meant here to do.
Right.
Whether you feel like you was put here to feed the homeless, or be a chef and open business, or whatever it is, if you're not able to align yourself,
Right.
if you're not able to make an adjustment, then I think you stand in your own way. So now we back. The inability to align. Now y'all just brought it right back. You right back at self-sabotage.
Listen, I was just gonna speak on that. Being 2024,
Y'all go ahead. I gotta give me some to drink. Go ahead.
we are stuck in this life of reality TV, just internet. Period. So
Yeah.
going back to last
good.
week, self-sabotaging. You should be aligned with just yourself and God.
Right.
But when you start looking at what other people did, or assuming how long it took for them to get there,
Okay.
or if they really did what they were supposed to get there,
Right.
you start building what you're trying to do on someone else. You're not in alignment
Right.
with you.
Right.
So it takes time to build anything that God wants you to have.
Absolutely.
So by you not being aligned with yourself and doing it the right way, because you see people on social media showing you this glitz and glamour, but you don't know what's going on behind closed doors.
Right.
So you have to live your life in the means of doing and align yourself with what you're trying to do for yourself,
Okay.
and not trying to. That's your self-sabotage, because I say, oh, well, Los did it in this time frame. I should be able to do it the way he did it or better.
Right.
But you don't know. I don't know what Los went through
Right.
to get there.
Mine ain't yours.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? I like to kind of throw it real back to something that we all can relate to when we hear align.
Okay, let's
A
go.
car.
Yeah.
A
Let's
car.
talk about it.
A car.
Take time to
A
align
car.
for
You know,
wheels.
so now we all, if you have driven and your alignment is off,
You
we
gonna
know
know
what's
it.
going on. Yeah, you gonna know it. You know, your car going on this side, it's going to the left, it's going to the right, or you got to hold on to that steering wheel so tight to stay on course in that car.
Yeah.
You know, because your alignment is off.
You gotta work
You
harder.
know, same thing in life.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, you have to be in line with your assignment. You know, you want to stay, you want to have a good alignment. You want to be on course. You know, you don't want to be drifting off to the side. I mean, it may be happening, but don't let it be because you don't have it together. You know, or you not focused on where you're going, or you done made a decision. Now you're going, and then you turn
Detour.
left.
Yeah, you
You know,
detour.
you turn
Veer
right.
off of it. Yeah.
You turn right.
Ooh,
You know
let
what
me
I'm saying?
jump in on this.
Okay, what's up on there, bro?
So, and we didn't hit the clock. That's your fault, Smurf.
Oh.
So, you brought it to a car.
Right.
Okay, I like this. I
We
like
can
this.
relate to it.
I like it.
Yeah, yeah.
So, when the car's in need of alignment, you know that because it keeps pulling you
Yeah.
to the left, to the right, to the
like
right.
that.
So now let's paint this picture. A person who's driving a car on a long journey, whose alignment is intact, the driving is a lot smoother.
Straighter.
It's less energy. That makes it less stressful.
Right.
But when you driving a car that needs an alignment, it's hard to drive and relax during the journey because you got to keep readjust. You got to keep pulling it back because it keep pulling it to the side.
Yeah.
So people who don't make the adjustments, because when you get a car aligned, they're just making adjustments
That's all they're
to
doing.
the steering and
You-
all
you
of that.
just spoke on
whatever it is.
adjustments, bro.
So people who don't take the time to go in the shop and get aligned, their journey is more stressful than a person whose car has been aligned, continues to get aligned, and it just drives smooth. Because when your car aligned, you ain't even got to grab the steering wheel.
You ain't got to worry about it.
Yeah, you ain't got to
gotta
grab the
worry
steering
about
wheel.
it.
But when you need alignment, you got to keep pulling it. You got to keep grabbing it. And a lot of our lives are like that. And we wonder why we're so frustrated and we're so unhappy with life because we got to keep pulling it back.
Man.
Instead of just taking the time, going in the shop, and get aligned.
Right.
I like that. I like that, yeah.
Yeah. You know, and bro, like, when you are in the line, when you are focused on your task at hand, when you are locked into your assignment, and you heading that way, you on your journey to your assignment, you know, you ain't got to worry about drifting, you know. You ain't got to be on your mind like, well, I got to hold on to this because if I don't, I'm going off course. You know what I'm saying? I mean, so, and then you focused, you're looking down, you're going straight, you got your windshield, the big windshield right there. We already done talked about once before in another episode why the windshield is bigger than the rearview mirror. You know, we can't worry about the rearview mirror.
Correct.
You know, you can't drive down the road looking in the rearview mirror. We already know what's back there, bro. We done passed it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we can see all the bad. You remember that so you don't have to keep looking back towards it. You know, when you pass a bad accident, you already know down the road, yeah, it was a bad accident back there. Certain restaurant, whatever, you know, it's all behind you. Don't look in that small rearview mirror and be locked in and focus on that. Focus on your assignment. Here is your assignment in the windshield. It's huge. It's open. You can see everything. You locked in. I'm ready to go. You know what I'm saying, bro? You locked in.
Speaking on that, though, you speaking on alignment and traveling, we're using the car for an analogy. You do have to realize that even though you're aligned, at sometimes you're going to have to get off and get gas. But as long as you stay aligned, you know to get back on that road and keep that pattern and that path straight ahead.
Right.
So when life things happens, that the thing will happen that might knock you off. But as long as you stay aligned, you know how to get back on that traveling and have traveling grace to keep going
So
forward.
the gas can be your help, bro.
Exactly. You might need some help.
And with saying that, Smurf, you just deliver people because even when you in pursuit of something,
Something's gonna happen.
breaks are mandatory. You have to refuel.
You have to.
And I've been guilty of this. That when I get in pursuit of something, I keep going till I burn out and I run out of gas. And when I burn out and I run out of gas, I stop doing what I was pursuing. Then that's when I say, God just changed my season. God just pivoted on me. Now you want me to do something.
No,
when
you
the
did it to
problem was,
yourself.
I didn't stop to get no gas.
Right.
So
refuel yourself.
now you talk about self-care. Now watch how this tie back in the last week. So if you don't take those breaks to refuel, you'll never make it to your destination. And if you deny yourself the breaks that you need and the refreshment that you need and the self-care that you need, now we right back to self-sabotage.
Self-sabotage. Self-sabotage.
Right back to self-sabotage.
Self-sabotage.
So now, as we talk,
Self-sabotage.
those who watched it last week, part of self-sabotage, this is almost like self-sabotage part two. Part of self-sabotage is the way you think and see stuff. Now, we seeing that a lack of self-care and a lack of taking breaks to refresh and refuel yourself is also self-sabotage.
Self-sabotage.
So not only do we need to change our thinking, we need to take some breaks. And we need to, I ain't talking about take a break like, oh, I ain't working right now, I'm in between. No, you need to take a break. You need to intentionally do something that refuels you. After I go like 6, 7, 8 months, I don't got to the point. I've been doing it for a couple of years. When I start to get tired, I take a trip to go to Georgia and see sis.
Okay.
But that one weekend away, leaving out Friday, coming back Sunday, it refreshes me. All the stress that been building up over the 6 months, all that is gone. So for people who are in pursuit and don't take breaks and don't provide and don't, I don't know if it's do self-care.
It's an overload.
Yeah, it becomes an overload. You become burnt out and you are self-sabotaging yourself. Because I don't care what kind of car you got. You got an electric car. They don't go as far as a gas car, but I don't care what kind of vehicle you got. If you don't put no gas in it, you'll never make it to that destination because the assignment, the reason God created you, it takes a while to get there. That's a journey. So this ain't no one tank and you make it.
Right.
And I think a lot of people think they could do it off one tank.
That's not how it works.
Oh my God.
That's how it works. And
you can't do it off one tank.
And when you try to do
I know
that,
I
and
could.
when you don't take these breaks, bro, and you know, obviously it's the self-sabotage, you know, but you know, now it's self-destruction.
Yeah.
You know, it's self-destruction. You know, and sometimes I don't think we dive into the definition of certain things as we say it.
Yeah.
You know, we say, yeah, well, you know, it's destruction. Destruction.
You know what destruction means?
I got it right here.
Oh,
Okay, let's run with it.
Destruction. The action or process of causing so much damage
No more.
to something that it no longer exists or cannot be repaired.
There's no more.
Destruction.
Demolished.
It's done.
No more.
You done shut your assignment down. You done balled it up and thrown it in the garbage or whatever it is you was out to do because you done put all the self-sabotage in there and you done tried to keep your car going and you ain't refuel. You have, now it's unrepairable.
It's like a car when you don't change it. You don't change your
Now you
oil.
got
oil.
Yeah, now you got the, you know, now you got to start all over. You know, some kind of way. But you know, I'm just saying, bro. I'm just saying.
I got it. Can I go?
Yeah,
Can I go? Can I go?
I'm tagging
Listen,
you in, bro.
When you drive a car and you don't change the oil and you blow your motor, you throw a rod, it's done with.
done. You gotta get a new engine.
But if you take it to the right mechanic If you take it to the person who specializes in fixing it, boy, he can make it like brand new.
Boy, look at him.
Oh, so let's talk about how we get in alignment. I got to tell you this. So if you seeking for why God made you, what was your purpose, what's your creation, and when it seems like your life throw a rod and your life break down, you got to take it back to the person who specializes in bringing it back to life. And who could better do it?
Take it from me.
Huh?
You said you take it from me because I won't say
Yes, sir. Who better to replenish your life than the person who issued you your life?
Absolutely.
You understand what I'm talking about? Yeah. So now I'm gonna jump to something real quick, and we're gonna throw a lot of stuff in between. But when you talk about aligning, the first thing you got to do, and if you realize, and I'm talking to y'all, if you my fellas, definitely my fellas. Because we definitely have to realign our thinking and our actions. But if you feel like you throw a rod in your life, take it to the mechanic.
Absolutely.
Take it to the person that specializes in fixing what has been torn up.
Best mechanic
Too many times, and like we talk about therapy. A therapist is not the mechanic to fix the motor when it threw a rod. What a therapy does, a therapy calls you to assess yourself, and a therapy leads you on a journey where you know how to reach inside of yourself and find the answer you need for your life. Okay. But when your life threw a rod, you got to take it back to God. And that's Coach Chuck, your podcast, Pastor. Go ahead, y'all.
Look at it from this point.
Yes, sir.
Who gave the therapist the assignment?
Yeah, exactly.
The number one.
Who gave them the gift?
Who gave them the gift?
Who gave them the
to help
gift?
you out?
Yeah.
So in the end, everything
Back
comes back to God.
Yes, sir.
So y'all let me stick here for a minute.
Okay.
Because I feel something now.
I see it on you, bro.
If we got to bring it back to the right mechanic, that means a lot of us who've been so headstrong, so self-sufficient, trying to do it on our own power, we have to reestablish a reverence for that mechanic in our life.
Okay.
A lot of it, and I was guilty of it, running from my own calling and chasing everything I thought I was missing, that I lost my reverence and my respect for God, who was the giver of my life, who was the repairer of my life, who was the leader of my life. So if you're trying to get that rod fixed, the first thing that we got to reestablish is we got to reestablish our reverence for God.
Right.
Can't do it without it.
Cannot.
Enough of trying to fix it on your own. I don't care if you never believed in God, taste him, give him a shot.
Gotta get that relationship.
Give him a shot.
Right.
You got to start to build that relationship with God.
Right.
You got to have a reverence. You got to see the need. You got to get to the point where you understand that your life is not under your own control. That you really have no power to control the things that happen in your life, and you have no mechanical skills to rebuild the rod that has been thrown. Yep. So some of us got to fall on our knees. Some of us need to get back to church. Some of us need to get back in the Word. Some of us need to get back just to a strong prayer life and allow the mechanic to fix the rod that's been thrown in your life. I don't know if they ever heard a car when you try to crank it up when the rod thrown. That's how a lot of our lives is.
Yeah.
That's how a lot of our lives is.
Oh.
Because we ain't taking it to the one who could fix it. So I definitely want to insert that, because without God, it ain't nothing.
And
I don't care what nobody say.
his shop always open. Bro.
Always open. The Bible says he don't sleep or slumber.
Can I speak on that real quick?
Go ahead. Yes,
I heard something today
we'll
that
take
kind
away it
of,
go.
That's why you up here.
for a point of what you just saying, where you have to turn
Am I
it back
moving
to
too
God.
much? I'm moving too much.
Go ahead, bro.
But
Go ahead, don't put me no mind. I be talking.
when you give it back to God, and He gives you an answer, and it's an answer that you don't want, it comes a tug of war again, because now you're questioning what God is telling you to do. And if you're getting this answer over and over again, He's speaking to you, right? But if you decide not to listen and follow what He's giving you,
Right.
He'll allow you to go on that journey by yourself. He'll let you go but so far,
Right.
but you're going to go by yourself. And I don't want to get into my personal issues
But
as
one day
far
you're
as
gonna have to.
in life, as far as like
Yeah.
with me
Yeah.
in the streets.
Right.
For those that don't know me,
Tell him.
I was shot 2 times with a 45.
Okay.
I was supposed to been taken out of here.
Yeah.
All through that journey, I was given signs. And I was telling God, no, that ain't what I'm supposed to be doing. That ain't what I want to do. I'm making this money. I'm going to keep doing this.
Self-sabotage.
Self-sabotage.
And by me not listening to Him, I don't supposed to be here talking right now. I got shot with a 45, 2 hollow points, very close range, at least 3 feet apart. Not now one of my vital organs were hit. The only thing happened to me, I had a collapsed lung because it hit my ribs.
So you here?
I'm here.
You here?
I'm 42 years old now. I've been here for a minute. March 25th, 2010 changed my life.
Purpose.
You hear
Got
me?
a purpose. Yes, sir. I feel you, bro.
So
I feel you.
when people walk around and say that they don't hear God, you hear him. You just don't want to hear him.
Right.
You definitely hear him because he speaks to all of us. You just don't want to hear him because he's not telling you what you want to hear. And once we learn to get out of our own way and get in his will and his way, it works so much better. That's where that alignment comes in at.
Get aligned.
Trust me, that's where that alignment comes in at.
Get aligned. Get aligned.
And I ain't speaking as far as I'm perfect because I get out of line a lot of times.
Yeah.
But you have to have people that pour into you
Yeah.
to help you get back in line so you can't do it by yourself.
Correct. Okay. So now we talking about, here I go. Now we talking about accountability. So, and this is very important because among men, we don't believe we need accountability. So even with dealing with self-sabotage, dealing with alignment, one of the key things that a person need to add to their life that I had to add, that I need to continue to add, is that you need to establish and add some type of accountability. You need people around you
To hold you accountable.
to hold you accountable and make sure you're doing the things that you said that you were pursuing and the things that you were going to do.
Right.
So part of your alignment is because you've been doing this thing without, and the problem is as men, it's hard for us to have people tell us what to do. It's hard for us to submit to stuff. You know, it's hard for us to commit to another person's words. But as men, most of us, we do it all by ourselves. And once you go so long for yourself, your life start pulling to the left. So if we establish some type of accountability group, you know, if you go to church, you got a men's group.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Wherever you may go, you find some men that are older, that have walked this thing, that are walking this thing, you know what I'm saying? And you establish people, not yes men, but people that'll hold you accountable for the things you say you need to do. So that's thing number one. You know, establish a circle of accountability in your life. Like he said, God says not good that man what?
Walk alone.
Be alone.
Right.
So as well as he was talking about a helpmate, you know what I'm saying? It's not, and it's another scripture that says that before war, wise men seek counsel. Like even before you go to war, you should have a conversation with some people like, hey, this is what I'm thinking. And not that they're going to tell you not to do it, but this is what I'm thinking. Give me some input from your experience.
Best way to
because
go
of the
about
walk
it.
you had in life, because of the ups and downs. So if we can establish that as men, that's one way of alignment. Some people got a lot of stuff in order, but they don't have that. So if that's you ain't got that, I challenge you. Get that.
You know, and when we talk about having the people around you, you know, it got to be the right people.
Yeah.
Can't be no fools.
Just can't end
you know what I'm
anybody.
saying? Can't be no fools. You know, I got people, Big Coop, you know, cousin, Derek Cooper.
Yes.
He hit me the other day. We talked about it, bringing him into the podcast. Super smart brother, love the Lord, great person to have on camera and talk to us about the certain kind of stuff. But when I call him and we talk, bro, we ain't talking about no mess. You know what I'm saying? We ain't talking about no foolishness. You know, we talking about positive stuff. We talking about growth. You know, we talking spiritually. You know, we talking love, the love I have for him, the love he has for me. You know, because we not scared to have that conversation.
Yes.
'Cause, bro, I tell people on camera all the time how much I love you.
Yes, sir.
You know
You
what
do
I'm
that.
saying?
You do that. I
Y'all
know you
just
do.
met Smurf, but I love this brother. This family right here, man. You know, and I don't use that word lightly. You know what I'm saying? But if he needs it, he can get it from me, from bro, from my mama, from my people.
Yes,
you know
sir.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's. But those are the kind of people you have to have around you. You know, you need to be able to count on them, and they should be able to count on you. You know, if you got somebody that you can't call because you're like, oh no, because they probably doing this, or they not going. Those are not the people who are going to help you progress on your mission.
Correct.
This is what it is, bro.
Correct.
That's
That is
real
what
talk.
it is.
Not gonna pour into you like you pouring into them.
That's right. That's right.
Right. They gotta have. They should have a game plan. You know. They should have an assignment. They should be aligned with their assignment.
Yeah.
You know. It's just the kind of people you have to be around. You know. It's easy to fall into an everyday program, or you know, just not considering what's really important to you.
Get
you know, and
complacent.
I think, yeah, you know,
Get
and
complacent.
I don't know, man. And I'm a victim, man. You know, but I'm trying to have more conversations with myself, you know, about my future, you know, about the future of my family, because I got a daughter, I got sons, I got grandkids, you know, so I'm trying to be aligned with that, you know, because that's part of my assignment, bro.
Yes,
They're a
sir.
part of my assignment.
Yes, sir.
You know, they're a part of my assignment. I got to be lined up correctly with that because I don't want to be pulling to the left or pulling to the right. You know, I need to be in order for that, you know. I need to try to make that journey as smooth as possible.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I mean,
Yes, sir.
there's going to be obstacles, you know, and that kind of thing there, but sometimes we make obstacles, you know. We put them in front of
Unnecessary
ourselves,
ones.
you know. And you know when you run up on an obstacle, sometimes you go around it, you know, or it stops you and you looking over the wall and say, oh, I can't do it. Or even worse, you turn around and go the
back
other
the other
way.
way.
the other
Yeah.
way.
You know what I'm saying?
Retreat.
I try to look at it more as illusions. You know what I'm saying? Because I can see through that. You know, okay, it's there, I understand, but it's not going to hold me. You know, I can reach through it. I can keep driving. I can work my way through this and it's not going to be an obstacle to me. It's not going to hold me back. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes,
bro?
sir.
You
Yes,
know,
sir.
that's what we got to do. That's what we got to do. We got to treat it like that.
I like that, and you said one key thing. So, you
I
said
usually do.
you said about your assignment that you be thinking about it and trying to you know, get on target for pursuing your assignment.
Right.
I think I feel one alignment that a lot of people need to make is that we have to learn how to hear God's voice.
But make sure it's his voice.
Yeah, we're finna talk about that.
Because I went sideways with
but
that
to
one
some
time.
people, they think it's such a difficult thing because some churches have taught us wrong. We heard people talk wrong, and they made it seem like God's voice was something that was thundering like the crowds, and you can hear, you know when it's like that. But Isaiah 30 say, whether you turn to the left or you turn to the right, he say, in your ear, you will hear a voice behind you. So a lot of times we look for God to be speaking where we're going and what's ahead of us. And a lot of times that's not God speaking. When God speaks, he speaks behind you to push you
and guide you.
into something.
Okay.
Like Smurf said, he had been getting all kind of signs. Those that voice that God communicate with him was God behind him, pushing him. And when God speaks, 99 times out of 100, he's speaking you and pushing you into something that you're not comfortable with. He's pushing you into a place that you had not thought about or perceive yourself being. So when God speaks, and this is how you know God is speaking, he'll push you out of a comfortable place in your life. So those messages, those downloads, if they're not pushing you forward and they're not pushing you to a place of uncomfort and discomfort, that's a pretty good chance you might have to check that because that might not be God. So a lot of times we think God is telling us something that we want for ourselves.
Exactly.
When he says that my ways are above your ways, my thoughts are above your thoughts. So God doesn't think like we think. He don't see how we see. So we see one thing, he sees greater. We think one thing, he thinks higher. Ephesians 3:20, I'll do above and beyond that which you could possibly think or imagine. So when he speaks, he's speaking and pushing us into a place that we did not see ourselves going. And it's an uncomfortable place to be.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So you learn, the Bible says judge the spirit by the spirit. You learn to judge things if you slow down. Something you was talking about. Did you get it yet?
Yes.
Okay. If you slow down and pay attention to the things that you are feeling instinctively, not the things that you're thinking.
Right.
But the things, you know how people say, oh, something just
in my
don't feel
gut,
right.
it just don't feel right.
That kind of stuff. You start paying attention to those, God will let you know when you're going out of bounds.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You'll start to get them feeling like, oh, I probably really shouldn't do this.
They call it butterflies in football.
They call it butterflies in football. But you'll feel that in life decisions.
Right.
If you're getting off track. So you start measuring that when you're trying to determine the way to go, and you're trying to determine if you're aligned for your assignment. Are the thoughts you having, the things you feeling, are they pushing you into a place of comfort? Are they pushing you into an unknown place that could be uncomfortable with you? You may be an introvert, so you may be getting opportunities to be in places and to communicate with people which you're totally uncomfortable with.
Okay.
That's God.
Yeah, for sure.
Because what God got for you, the assignment that you got to walk in is not a comfortable assignment. It will not be what you thought it was going to be. All right? This podcast, you know, I started like ministering and preaching a long time ago.
Yeah.
And I thought that was going to be it, just me in the church. God said, no, it's bigger than what you think. I'm not going to use you just to be talking to people coming into a building every Sunday. He said, I'm going to take you and that gift you got and that understanding, that relationship you got with me, and you're going to get that to the world.
Right.
his thoughts was not my thoughts.
Right.
I was making plans to be in there and pastor him in the church. They said, no, sir, I ain't gonna keep you there. I got something different. So God starting this podcast. People think it was easy because I used to preach to a church. It's one thing to preach to people that's there. It's another thing to talk to a camera when ain't nobody sitting out there.
Yeah.
This was uncomfortable.
No audience.
This ain't easy.
Yeah.
Just today we was having, my mind is everywhere.
Yeah.
Even Lanika told me, she said, don't be nervous. She saw it on me. Like as much as I've spoken.
Yeah.
But when I'm doing what God has called me to do in this time of my life, it's uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And it's hot.
Some days we come in here, bro, you know, and I mean, they probably can't tell. Cause we push the power out on the podcast, but you know, I mean, we together, we live. I think we compliment each other well. Smurf just came up here the first time today, and he blew my mind so much in that last episode, bro. I'm like, my goodness, you know what I'm saying? But it's not easy.
Yeah.
You know, but it's what we were meant to do.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, because when you first told me you was pumping the podcast, I said, okay, bro, I might jump in every
Scared
now
to
and then.
death.
Might jump in every now and then.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's what you thought.
And that's what I thought. You know, but God had a different plan for me. Like, ain't no every now and then. This every episode, you know. I mean, it's going to be episodes where he might come up and do one of his own things, or I might have an episode where I might be him by myself, but we are here together. This is my brother. Same mama, same daddy. I tell y'all that all the time. Same mama, same daddy. And we are here on this journey, this mission, this drive, whatever it is, because we putting all this information out there for everybody and for us as well. We are learning together. We are growing together. We are experiencing certain things together. You know, I mean, I told you every time I come out here, bro, it seems like I heard something for the first time. And it makes me feel good to be educated. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? I mean, because it's like I get a lot of education here, bro.
Okay.
You know, it's what it's meant to be.
One quick thing on the point of what bro was saying as far as God and being uncomfortable. You're going to be uncomfortable. One thing he will do, he will not leave you out there by yourself. Because like bro said, he was uncomfortable with doing this. And as I'm standing up here with both of my brothers, I see both of them have a bunch of notes. But what y'all don't realize is they ain't going off of none of them.
Okay. Prepared, don't even get to use it.
They just sitting here for no period, holding up space. So it's uncomfortable, but God will put in you what he wants to come out of you. So you don't need the paperwork. Now, this is just for study. They thought they were going to say all of this, but I can promise you, they ain't the two definitions that was told, that's about it. Other than that, everything is off of the dome because God's putting them in it.
What that word say? Jesus told the disciples when they was getting ready to be persecuted, he said, think not what you're going to say, but it'll be given to you. That same hour. When it's time to speak,
It's gonna come
I'm going
to
to show
you.
up and
Yeah,
tell you
it's gonna
what to
come.
say. But before we get out of here, go ahead. Then
Real quick,
yeah.
I just want to say something about bro, you know, who took them gunshots. You know what I'm saying? God will rebuild you in front of those that tried to break you, bro.
Ooh, that's that mechanic.
Right
too.
in front of them. So I don't know where they are, who done it to him, but look at him now. Look where he at.
Look at him
Look
later.
how God has elevated him.
Look at him
You know
later.
what I'm saying? He rebuilt him right in front of those that tried to break him or thought they broke him. He'll do it to all of us. He'll do it to everybody. Whoever it is that's tearing y'all down out there, whoever it is that's keeping you on the low level, whoever it is that said you can't accomplish this, you ain't gonna never make it, how many of you have been built up right in front of them?
I make you
Right in
a
front of
footstool.
them. You know, that's what
I
they do.
prepare a
That's
table
what they do.
in the presence of your enemies. Thank God.
Yeah.
You know a table prepared what? For you to be served, for you to eat. You get to eat. You get to eat. But
Eat good.
Yeah, we about to
right.
run out of time, so
Yeah,
that's what I
yeah,
want to
yeah.
do. This is another on the fly thing. We hadn't thought about it.
Here we go.
So I want you to think about. I always go first. I should go last if I got more time to think about it. But where is an alignment needed in your life, and how you gonna go after that so we can hold each other accountable? So I'm gonna start with me. The alignment that's in my life is that from my communication with God, what God is pushing me to, and I ain't been doing it, is that I have to start this Bible study. Okay. Smurf and we've been talking about it for a while. I have to start this Bible study. So we're going to put this thing together. We're going to do Zoom. We're going to do special invitations for those who want to be involved. But we're going to start just a Bible study amongst us. So y'all hold me accountable for that. That's something I'm bringing into alignment. that God is telling me we got to start going through these scriptures. We got to start getting understanding and clarity. And me using my gift to teach out of the fivefold ministry and start to teach this scripture. And we can all have a conversation about it. And we'll get the understanding of the scripture so we can have perfect application in our lives. Correct application. I won't say perfect because ain't none of us perfect. So that's my alignment. So I had set, we was going to do it Sundays at 6. We can't because we got a client that rent the studio on Sundays at 6. So I'm going to have to pick another day, but I am going to do it. So y'all hold me accountable for that. And then y'all going to see, I'm going to start to announce it. It's not connected to the podcast. It'll be something separate that I'm doing on my own, but we are going to start to do a private Bible study for those who are interested. So that's the alignment I'm going to make. What you got? And be honest, what you got?
I got nothing.
What need? You ain't got nothing? So nothing need?
I mean, it's not that I don't got nothing. It's just probably so many things.
Okay, I got something for you. I'm gonna be your coach.
Okay, what you
Okay,
got? What you got,
because I know you're a man that love God. You always had a heart to pursue God.
Right.
So let me ask you this: how much time you spend in that word pursuing God? Because what people have to understand is you find God through that word.
Right.
So when you in pursuit of God, you have your prayer life where you communicate with Him, and you're in that word because that word teaches you how He acts and how He responded to certain actions of people. So my thing to be with you is, what can we hold you accountable for? What you getting back in your word, like you know you're supposed to be.
Well, that's kind of what I was getting ready to say to myself, bro. You know that I'm
a prophet. I knew you was.
That I could definitely, you know, I'm always talking about educating myself, you know, on worldly things. You know, I need to become stronger spiritually educating myself. You know what I'm saying? And that's in the book, bro. That's in the book. You know what I'm saying? So that's where I'm gonna hold myself accountable.
So it sounds like we got another member for the Bible study that we do.
I'm gonna have to be a part of that.
All right, let's go to you, Smurf, so we can wrap it on up.
Tenfold of what y'all just spoke on. Get back in the word and being committed and intentional
about doing what you
about doing what I said I'm gonna do, and that's reading that book.
Well, there you have it. Now, we ain't perfect. We don't need nobody watching us and judging us, but, oh, no, you ain't do this, you ain't do that. This is our alignment. It's a work in progress, but that's something that we're going to do.
What's going to be alignment?
Yeah, what's your alignment?
What's your alignment?
Now, if your alignment is our alignment, we're going to start letting you know when this private Bible study going to go through. This ain't at no church. We're going to do it right here from the studio. We're going to come in Zoom or whatever we go through, and we're going to break down these scriptures. But what's your alignment if you got something different?
And if it's
put it in the chat.
Yeah, put it in the comment. You already looking at the podcast. You see where it say comment. Hit it. Type it on in there. Let us know.
Or if it's something personal, you go to FAFpodcast42.com, hit contact us, and you can send us a private email if you got something serious that you want to make alignment. You may want some advice on. You may want some prayer on. Put it in the website. But if it's something you don't mind everybody see it, put it on the screen.
And if it's something you want us to talk about and we ain't got to it yet, feel free to. We'll take it on.
Yeah, submit it. Go to the website for that. Submit it.
We ain't that big.
Submit it.
We ain't too big. Well, we can't listen to our
FAFpodcast42.com.
people out there. We willing. That's what we want. You know, I would like to see a lot more comments. You know, we got a couple people that comment on the time. I know everybody not comfortable with that, but we want you to find your comfort zone eventually, so you can leave us those comments, so we can talk to each other and get it going. You know, because soon we're gonna be going live on some episodes. You know what I'm saying?
So, we're gonna have call-ins and everything.
Call-ins.
But before we get out of here, Smurf, you got something you wanna lay down before Big Bro do his thing and close us out? We out of time, so let's go.
No, all I can say is, bro, I'm proud of you.
Appreciate
I
it, bro.
tell you that every day. If
Yes,
nobody
sir.
else don't tell you, but I know Big Bro tell you. I'm proud of you. I want you to keep doing what you're doing, keep pushing forward. God got something in store for you.
Yes,
something
sir.
real big.
And for our viewers and those who rocking with us, y'all ain't seen it yet. We got some things for Felons, some stuff we gonna do. Right now, you just seeing us putting this content out so everybody can understand our thought process, so y'all understand the DNA of this podcast. So y'all know, like they used to say, St. Pete, they bleed green and white. So we want y'all to understand that we bleed betterment, we bleed therapy, we bleed self-assessment, we bleed breaking the cycle of self-sabotage, we bleed aligning ourselves. So these shows are to spark you, to create motion in your life, and these shows are to get you to understand the DNA, that's the blood that's running through this podcast. Take us out, Big Bro.
One last thing.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I hope you invite me back one day.
Okay, we're going to have you back. We're going to have you back, definitely.
You come every week.
Go ahead, Big Bro.
Yeah, I mean, you know, some people out there wish for things to happen, bro.
Yeah.
You know, some people out there, they want certain things to happen. Some people make it happen.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Let's be the people that make it happen.
Let's make it
Let's
happen.
be the people that make it happen. Right here, Lopez And everybody out there down with FAF 42.
And shout out our sister Lanika. She had to step out today, but
She did.
she definitely connected with us. We got a Georgia connection too. I introduced that at some other time, but we got some Georgia connections too. People really sewing in and helping out with the movement we doing, and they making some ways where we'll be able to do some stuff out there too. That is Fellas Ain't Failures 42. If you haven't subscribed, hit that notification bell, share, like, comment, and we love y'all. Peace, and we'll see y'all next week.
Yes, sir.